Yeah, I think it's finally time for the Book of Bill Cipher review. So let's open up the book first. I've read this book multiple times. So at the beginning of the book, we get a very important message from Stanford, or just Fort Pines, telling us that this book should be thrown away or something like that at all cost, and he worries if Bill is really dead or not after the events of Weirdmageddon. He finds the book and tries destroying it, but is unable to. Then, if you turn the page, it says, "This book's new master is your name here to summon. Place your hand on the right page, clear your mind, repeat the words, time to get weird." The book glitches out. Bill comes in and rips through the page, introducing us to his book, his very own book that he wrote in somewhere where he's stuck, which I will be revealing if you still haven't read this book, even after it's been out for 3 months. I mean, it has been sold out because it's like a bestseller. Let's get back to the video. He then asks for a deal if we either want to read the book or not. If we pick yes, we have to turn the page. But no, we turn to page 77. But let's pick yes for now. Bill tells us that we picked a good choice, but yeah, he breaks the fourth wall by saying that the cover of the book isn't really that good. So we see he tries to find a better cover for his so-called book. Too basic, too nostalgic, too preachy, too ravishing. There we go. The crowd loves it. With that out of the way, all this book needs is some ink. Hey, can I borrow some of your blood? Just press your dumb ear and I'll absorb some right into the page. You won't even notice it's gone. The human reading this book has to sacrifice its blood by pressing your thumb where Bill wants you to press it, giving the book your blood, which I gotta say is pretty dark. Bill tells us a bit about this book, table of contents. Now, let's get into the real deal. Bill tells us a bit about him, that he is technically called by many names, and yeah, that's pretty much about this page, and that he's like a little rascal and mischievous fella, and yeah, he wears a pink T-shirt that says, "I'm a little different. Get used to it." Then we get this Bill magazine, which probably no one was expecting. I wasn't even expecting this book to be about this. Bill then talks to himself and mostly about like stuff in his life, public info, like what he did after Weirdmageddon. Does he really date a Halloween void? And does he know how to wear pants? And is he like a teenager? And yeah, we're not going to answer that. Move on. Cut. And we know that Bill actually can see all. Wherever he is drawn, he can be seen. He can see wherever he's drawn. And wherever he's drawn, he gets more powers the more he sees. I also drew him on the back of my computer along with his parents, Scalene and Euclid. And I could frame this picture I drew of him, so I'm just giving him power like I worship him. Bill then talks about his powers, which are mind reading, possession, clairvoyance, charisma, pyrokinesis, looking amazing in formal wear, and geometric perfection. Which, yeah, this is pretty true. Always add up to 180 degrees. His weaknesses: synthesized music, tinfoil, McGuckett's memory gun, what we can read here, no physical form, and quantum. And yeah, Bill tells us that he breaks the fourth wall again by telling us we can't read his so-called book anymore. But if we turn the book 2 pages away, this is like the last page. Bill Bill just decides to go back to the book, but with a message from Stanford, telling us that we could either close the book, shut it, or just turn the pages. And of course, we're turning the page. We see Bill looking inside of what seems to be the secrets of the universe. Bill tells us that if we can pass his so called tests, we can get his deep dark secrets, like what he says here. The meaning of life, what everyone's saying about you behind your back, how to make a functioning atomic bomb out of ducklings, blah 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 blah, boring stuff like that. And he tells us he tells the people that they should not publish that. We get his tests and we get some questions like, is this a young woman, an old woman, or an illustrator having a psychotic break? This may look like an ordinary cube, but if you look closely, this cube is actually really super depressed. He's had a rough year. 2024 has been rough for me. Cut him some slack. What can you say to this cube to convince him to leave the house more often? Careful, too much pressure to hang out will make the cube even more anxious. When you never find him out, he'll think you hate him. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck wood if, yeah, we're not doing that one. Can you find all the screams in this puzzle? This is Norlog. He hungers for numbers. Feed him the numbers he craves. Numbers are his food. Feed Norlog. Well, he's going to be eating every single number in number lore. Calculate the surface area of Seuss. How did I get here, dude? Why won't this leave me alone? This is actually kind of like some sort of code if you don't know how to like type in like this password to the website before like Seuss fixed it. You know what I mean. The book of Bill ARG. Yeah, we already seen this one. In the 90s, the internet had only one website, Horses Dating Horses. So people had to pass the time by staring at these things and pretending they could see something in there. And you pretend to see something in there? I'm pretending to see my channel's death. My channel's technically getting really old now. I just added this thing in here because it's been in my dimension forever, and I hate looking at it. I wanted to get rid of it. It's your problem now. This is an easy one. What is your purpose in life? Bill tells us if we completed the test, we failed, but if we skipped it, congratulations. Then we get to chapter 2, Bill's Guide to Everything. Bill tells us reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram, bye, goodbye! And telling us that nothing is real in reality and that technically we are just living in some sort of like simulation like that. Trying to go in like the best detail I can. And that we can't even see echocolate chronology. We can't even navigate beyond linear chronology, however it's pronounced, or outside the optical spectrum. And reality is made of code and madness and very tiny Legos. And we have to remember that what's real is nothing. And we learn that the universe is a hologram because we see the multiverse here, and that Dennis is holding this trading card, which is our multiverse, all of us, which is all of us we live in. And if it ever gets chewed up by his dog or if he loses it, we are all dead. Yeah. Then Bill talks about the disgusting human. This guy, one I gotta say, is pretty funny. Design flaw. Ever tried shooting a laser up here? The whole human explodes. No, I'm not kidding. Bones. Inside of our bones are other much tinier bones. No one knows what's inside of those bones. Probably much, much tinier bones. Even tinier than a dust mite. And then he talks about what is a human, and it's an organic machine made out of blood, anxiety, fluids, bladders, and sacs, etc. And that we can't see his favorite colors: ultraviolet, extra turquoise, magenta, instantile, hyper beige, and brown too. And then we get this message from this weird creep that goes by the name of Grabely Hemberdrack of Zimtrex 5, which yeah, is trapped by Bill. Some tattoos. When I get older, I'll probably get these as one of my tattoos, especially this one. I want him to get more power. Bill talks about love. He has a real human heart for some reason. I'm gonna blur that out. Not. So yeah, then he gives us dating tips. Yeah, I might really need these in the future. Cause yeah, I think I might need dating tips, but not ones like those. So yeah. Then he talks about how to trick everyone into loving you. It's what's on the outside that counts. Outfits like putting teeth all over your face. Oh god, those are going to be the next fashion trends of 2025, possibly. God dang it. What are we living in? And that you should tie two cobras to each arm and call yourself Johnny Cobra Arms. I don't even know what a cobra looks like. I'm actually honest. I don't even remember what a cobra looks like. It's like a snake or something, like an animal. I don't actually know. It smells. I might like this one. Topics. There's a cipher which I actually can decode, which spells out lies. The love cage. These Valentine's cards. Bill, you go out with me? I've got my eye on you. You're a cute. I like you for some reason. Let's get Illuminati. I'm broken. Wanna fix me? I do not want to die alone. I secretly collected your sweat in a jar, and according to extensive lab testing, we have an 88.3 fermione compatibility match. They call me the love triangle. And yeah, they just get dumb. Then Bill tells us about this. How will you oof? Yeah, it's pretty boring. Especially number 18. That cracked me up. So yeah, how will you oof? The afterlife. And then Bill, we know that Bill was too annoying for hell, considered by Satan or the devil, whoever runs hell, something like that. And Bill, how he talks about what it feels to be in his half life. My half life is still better than most people's whole lives. I'm just getting warmed up for my second act. You dig? What a cool party trick! I'll teach you how to be oofed too. And he tells us that, yeah, how to cheat death. The book gets hungry somehow, so we have to feed this thing more blood. Then he tells us, is heaven real or not? Says yes. If we ever had a perverted thought, it'd be invisible. I don't think this is like a black light thing at all. I really doubt it. I don't think Alex Hirsch even put black light in this book. So then we got morality, which I kind of what I also pronounce mortality, since they kind of look like the same word, but they're not. So then Bill tells us that it's like a very flexible concept of like good or evil, like kind of like like the trolley thing, which is going to be on a future page. Like there's like five people on one track and one person on the other, and you can either pick if one person will you can oof or five people you can oof, or well, that's technically how he's explaining morality, but as like a very flexible concept. But parents and presidents don't want any like kids or some people to know about it. It's like that. That's what we got down here with Scrimbles the elf. If we either turn the page, Scrimbles gets oofed. But if we stop reading, he thankfully lives. But Scrimbles, I'm sorry, do good in heaven. So yeah, we got parallel dimensions. We actually we know that there's a dimension where Bill's a square, and this is kind of cool where you know how Bill's like parents were red and blue? Look, we already got them confirmed. Let's just remove that bow tie. And yeah, Euclid's confirmed, Scalene's confirmed. Just add another eye. And there are actually some people believing that Bill had like a square brother called Tad Strange. I'm not really sure. I was only like 3 years old when Gravity Falls kind of ended, and like I'm about to be 11 in like 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't know that much about Gravity Falls. Like, geez, started like getting into the show 2 months ago. Then we learn a very huge piece of lore that this is the only timeline that Dipper and Mabel made it to 13, because in the other dimensions they were drowned like hold on, what does it say? I'm sorry. where they weren't dismembered, frozen, drowned, or shattered before they made it to 13. While this is the only universe where they made it to 13 years old. Like Queen of the Gnomes Mabel, 8-Bit Dipper. We got like this Dipper. I have no clue where that's from. The Tree Dipper from that one episode. The Mabel from the convenience store episode. Blind Eye Dipper, Blind Eye Mabel, Bipper, Bipper. We got Bipper, and then we got like then we get like a like. Oh no, I don't see it. We got Dipper number 2 there. We got Waddles there. We don't see Waddles anywhere else. It's kind of sad. Urban Legends. Bill talks about Slenderman, Guillermo del Torso, the Off Model, and him. Yeah. This I kind of already read, but I believe Bloody Mary knew Bill's, like, Bill knew Bloody Mary's old number, but I believe this guy, Flip Horizontal, which is this guy right here, knows Bloody Mary's like new number, something like that. I don't know how it like works. I'm not sure. And we got the Eye Stealer, the Reflexorcist. I believe the Reflexorcist is like this guy or something. No, hold on, he's this guy. This is the Eye Stealer, which I believe we heard about at the end of the book. We're skipping this page. We're going to codes instead, where Bill talked about how there's no codes in this book. Now, this actually, when you put all those like coffee stains together, like we see on the morality page, those, all of them in the book, it spells out with his dimension now deceased, Euclid and Scalene, rest in peace. I believe that's what it said. I'm not really sure. Something like that. Then we get Bill's horrible heads. We can skip this. Then we get to the Barnes and Noble pages, which I don't really want to feature in this video. As these contain no lore. It's like Bill's like life advice, how he started a cult, more morality. Like this was what I was talking about earlier. That's kind of like the difference between good and evil, kind of like that. Yeah, that's technically what Bill's talking about. Possession, holidays, Bill Nog, secret facts. And yeah, some products he made, someone's hand. I would not buy that unless I'm like I lost my hand somehow. I want this to exist. I kind of actually want this to exist. I'm not sure why. Then we get a color cipher, which I cannot decode actually, unless if I'm like a science genius, so I don't know how to decipher it for now. Then we get dreams. So we're back to the normal book. We get some embarrassing dreams about the Pines family, like Dipper, how he climbed a tree with Wendy, and the fire department had to be called to get him down. Man, that must have been so embarrassing for him. Man, imagine if that was me. Oh my god. So then yeah, then he searched this up, and he was gullible for every one of these, thinking that they were the authors of Journal 3 instead of like Stanford. This is kind of what they did back in like when someone found out that Stan had like a twin brother. They kind of did this like McGucket hoax where they just told him he had 6 fingers and boom, it was kind of like a hoax, so it wasn't really real. About Mabel's mind, we're skipping this. That's just kind of boring. How Bill wanted to pay McGucket a visit, which is Sixer's henchman, and that his mind was getting all scrambled and stuff like that. Then we know the meaning of life, and we finally get Bill's story. Now, I'm really craving some more lore for this. I'm craving more lore about Bill's story. I want to find out who Bill's parents really look like. So, just to add on, Bill lived in a flat world, kind of like this. We would see him like this if he was in like a flat world, us humans. And his world was known as Flatland. I'm not really sure if you ever heard of it, but the name of his world is called Euclidia. I think that's kind of where his father got his name Euclid from. And just imagine like the DVD screensaver, but it was more chaotic with a bunch more of them. That's his dimension. I know, screwed up. I really want to find out what this is. So this might say Nice to me right here, nice to me. And yeah, I'm not really sure, but there's this text. I really want to find out what this is. Alex Hirsch, please. Oh god, I'm too into the lore. Okay, Hench Maniacs. Yeah, there's nothing really about these guys. This guy's my favorite. Morpheus Shape, I believe you have pronounced it. Then we got Dan Crabbleman, Keyhole, Teeth, 8 Ball, and Pyronica, and Bill, I guess the leader. Then we learned that Bill's nightmare realm was kind of like collapsing. It was like gonna disappear, the edge of reality. How Bill and Time Baby never really got along is what this page is about. Oh, I need to catch my breath. I'm not even probably halfway done this book. So then we know how why Bill wanted to conquer Earth. No. The only thing special about the disappointment ball, that's what I call Earth, is that it happens to contradictorily exist on a weak spot between dimensions, like a thin breakable crust on a creme brulee. Yeah, that's what. Then this page has nothing. This is a pretty cool picture. Then we kind of learn how Bill kind of learned about the symbols. Zeus's symbol, Stan, Robbie, Dipper, Mabel, McGucket, Billy Stanford, Pacifica, Wendy, and Gideon. Like those are the symbols, and he kind of went through this prophetic event, how you pronounce prosophy like that, and meeting the shaman. This lore I need to kind of actually get pretty deep into. Then we learn more about Bill and the Dark Ages, saying that they were hilarious. That was not a hilarious time, Bill. You really thought that was hilarious? And we kind of get a pyramid. It's not the Eye of Providence. Bill, I think, is kind of based off of that thing like on the back of the $1 bill, like the "In God We Trust" thing, showing like the all-seeing eye of God, or what we call the Eye of Providence. That's what he's based off of, because he's like the all-seeing eye, like we saw back in like one of the pages. Okay, so then we get this, which is pretty boring, about him like haunting like a kingdom. Then we get some news about the stupid triangle of England began to spread somewhere. Then there's this by Unknown Bad Mother, which is a rockabye. I think the Rockabye Billy song is way more fire. By Milk in the Microwaver, I believe her name or his name is. I don't know their channel. But yeah, it's Cipher Tensions. Then we got Witchcraft, which is pretty boring. I'm not really sure what this page is about, neither this one, which is the Witches' Rebellion, 1692. Then we know how Bill kind of got himself on the back of the dollar bill. That's kind of what I'm talking about, this thing right here. And Bill talks about how to defeat the British. 1901 is the Anti-Cipher Society. This part, I really like of the book. How Bill talks about there was like a hunting society for him, how nobody liked him, and there was this guy called, what's his name again? Thugbert Mudgett Wagstaff III. We could kind of skip this because you probably already know how they kind of try to hunt Bill. Bill wanted kind of like more attention, and he wanted to get into humans' minds more. So he kind of wanted to like be in animation. 1930, which is kind of where we started to get cartoons, kind of like Mickey Mouse. Steamboat Willie. I'll be able to show a little bit of that because, it's in the public domain now. It's been like in the public domain for almost like a year. So yeah, Bill wanted to be in an animation. Cypher Symphonies. He sings. He screams. An actual riot. Tolerate him if you can, Marvin. Yeah, we're not doing that voice. Yeah. So everyone's a critic. He talks about how everybody is a critic. Messages from Elias Inkwell. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. Elias Inkwell, I believe that's how his name is pronounced. Then this we get from the secret like FBI agents. which is a top secret folder about Bill. The 1940s. I began hanging out at nuclear testing ranges to see if the radiation would blast open a hole into my reality. It worked for about 3 hours. And see Bill's blood type right there. Beyond description, our men, two of our men had to be sent to the sick tent for nausea. And then it kind of gets blocked out right here. The burial of something, we don't know what it is. And Bill, let's kind of read this on all the speed report. He draw a dotted line on his own chest and said, "I can't wait to see what's inside me." But when we tried to make an incision, he kept disappearing and reappearing like a television set, changing stations. He claimed that it was damage from an accidental reality breach and wouldn't say anything more unless we gave him a really big lollipop. Finally, with a loud bang that left our ears ringing, he was gone, leaving a bow tie spinning on the ground. None of us knew what to make it. And these are Bill's thumbprints, which are triangles, which I think was pretty good. Was pretty awesome. Then Bill wanted to be in some songs. I could try to sing this. Hold on. Don't be a square, be a triangle. Do the bip. Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's so cringe. 1980s, where Bill tried to kind of create a computer, but it ate a kid's finger off. Finally, a computer that monitors you. Maniac Inthos. It will eat your finger. Yep, not buying one of those. Thankfully, I was born in like the 2010s and not the 1980s. Then we got Bill talking about how, in 1993, he created this. It's kind of innocent looking, but when you see Martha hallucinating, her oozing black oil, whatever, from her mouth, it kind of gets dark. And this just makes it a bit darker. And it also gets this: the perfect weight to oof a man. I don't think I'd be buying one of these. Then we get this. Someone has done it. Someone has reversed the shaman's spell, the shaman's spell, and has summoned me back to Gravity Falls. Who would it be? A genius? An idiot? An idiot? Oh my goodness me. Yes, it was both. Sixer. Then we get Sixer, which is the Lost Journal 3 pages, which I'm not really going to discuss all, but it's how Bill and Ford kind of started to get along, but then they kind of decreased their friendship, Then he starts torturing him. I guess I can read this. Thanks, Sixer. You let me in your head. Do you realize what I can do in there if I want? I can flip a switch that makes every neuron burn with a pain beyond imagination. I can rewire optic nerve so the sky is below you. You play a tone that gets louder and louder until you bash your own skull just to make it stop. I can delete memories randomly, just for fun. Maybe I already have what you want to remember. Your mother's face, your own name. Who are you anyway? That's ridiculous, I shouted. I panicked. I couldn't recall my name. I began to shake. He flipped his fingers like he was turning on a light switch. Came to me. I'm Stanford. Flipped again. I went blank. Let my sockets start to stain. Start or something like that. Any second, my tendons would pop. My bone would be splinters. I fell to the ground. You're my property. Don't forget, the hillbilly abandoned you. Your father won't want you returning without millions. You have no friends, and if you died out here in the snow, who would even miss you? Turn on the portal. I've waited too long for this. By the way, I'm sending someone to steal your eyes. That is not a joke. I have a friend that will steal your eyes. You have 72 hours. Don't cross me again. Smarty pants. Then we kind of know that Bill actually kind of tricked us, and I guess I can read this. Dimensional Authority, what is your emergency? Hi, yeah, I'm working at the drive-through window at Burrito Paradox in a Mexican restaurant, and there's a triangle. I think he's had a lot to drink. He ordered one sixer, please. We told him that didn't make any sense, and he started crying. And then order infinite empanadas. We told him that we don't offer infinite empanadas anymore, or they cause all those time loops. And then he just started like trashing the place. He's inside the milkshake machine right now, spinning, and is anyone hurt, man? Our manager, like his body glitched through the ceiling and his legs keep kicking and it's making the lights uh fixture swing around swing around. There's a kid who's crying super loud because his head was just turned into a CGI watermelon. Okay, the triangle just filled the Mountain Dew machine with blood and he's just glued two customers together. There's nothing in the employee's handbook about the stay calm, man. Ma'am, we're dispatching officers right now to hey, he's grabbing the phone for me. I can't. Hi, Mom, this is Billy. I want you to know I'm gonna be back from school soon. Don't forget to crush all my sandwiches. Or I'm gonna Jim Jam. Where you all go? Where did you hear that? My mariachi band is right on time! And that we learned that Bill technically tricked us and that he wants to begin Weirdmageddon 2.0. And that when we were consuming his brain matter, this all his book stuff, he was in our mind, making some changes, like making all my memories from 2017 deleted. By the way, I was 4 years old, 3 to 4 years old in 2017, and I still remember like, I still remember when I was 4 years old. That's like the earliest I remember. Then we get this. Then we get this for Mabel Dipper. This from Stanley. Then Bill starts to get mad. No! The pines mean nothing to you. You gave me your blood. You let me into your mind. You killed an elf for me. You oofed an elf for me without even blinking. Now you're ready for our deal, right? You're ready for our deal, right? No. Something's wrong. I can see inside your mind. Our link is weakening. After everything I did for you, I showed you my childhood. I broke the fourth wall for you, and this is how you repay me? It's him again, isn't it? I knew it. He's the one who turned against me. That fumbling idiot con man. That weaker copy of Sixer. It's the weaker copy of Sixer. Stanley. Wait, what even is Ligma? Balls! Ah! On the day Bill Cipher died, he used the trick he never tried. Shattered, broken, not yet dead. Cipher's left the conman's head. A desperate flea, some panicked prayers to meet the frilly guy upstairs. In a tank outside of space, the opposites met face to face. Just one shot to live again. He pled his case to his old friend. Look, from one god to another, who cares I tried to oof those brothers? They're all ants, it's all a game. Let's press restart and try again. I'm too cool and fun to guy. Just give this angle to die. Just give this angle one more try. The axe sighed in a knowing way. He expected this is what Bill'd say. You cannot regrow through denial. You'll have to face my hardest trial. See my program to the end. Then you may yet live again. Am I fighting demons? Eating ghosts? You're getting what you need the most. One way to absolve your crimes, to change your form will take some time. Bill could not believe his luck. This salamander was a schmuck. Easier than he thought it. He faked his remorse. The guppy bought it. In combat, Bill was undefeated. Whatever challenge, he could beat it. Bill shook the Axe's hand with glee. How bad could these trials be? Bill is now in therapy. So if you remember at the beginning of the book, I kind of told you that like Bill was stuck somewhere. He's trying to like use this book to contact us. I believe I said that. I'm not really sure. But that's where he is. Because right here, we see him using the book, like trying to like make it like change on the reader's mind, using it to like contact every single human in the world to try to get him out of therapy. And yeah, and he's in maximum security prison with no way out. And even when the Dorito says he's fine, he claims that someday someone will let him out, 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 out. Until then, he rests. Now, I also want to show you that one page. This is the pages if you pick the no option. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you're wondering what I rate this book, I rated I'm sorry, but I have to say it, I rated like a 3. Just add a 1 in front of the 3 and it's 13 out of 10. This book is like amazing. Like all the pages, like the colors, the texture. It's like amazing. This book is awesome. Like all the glitchy pages, you should really get this book. Well, not for your kids. Like if they're like teenagers, you can get it. But yeah, still, you should buy the Book of Bill. And if you're wondering, are there going to be any more Book of Bill videos? I'm afraid not. Until I smell Parody Journal 3, The Missing Pages. So, this is technically the last video I'm going to be showing this book. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Bye, gold. Bye, 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 bye. We'll meet again. Don't know where. Don't know when. Ba ba da ba da da. Oh, I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue sky sends the dark clouds far away. Ba-da-ba-ba.